What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today I want to look at this 10-minute set I did last week, and that was the week after the White Nights competition where I did 32 kilogram long cycle. And I just want to give some basic thoughts about just the training process and raising your overall capacity in a systematic fashion over time. And it's going to be all over the place. So I did this set with double 24s for a competition, an online competition by our friends from Hungary. So those online competitions, for those who don't know, you have to record your weigh-in, your kettlebell weight, and there's a procedure you have to follow, and the reps get judged, and it is an official competition. It's obviously not as prestigious as a live competition, but given as kettlebell sport is relatively niche, it's a great opportunity for those who can't travel to live competitions or just to do those in-between assessments of your fitness. So I basically decided on a whim to do this competition because I was traveling and I didn't prepare for it at all. Now you might say you just competed with 32s. Yes, but 32s is very different than 24s, because with 32s my pace is very slow and it's more strength based, and with 24s it's much more about keeping a high pace, and the limiting factor is usually the cardiovascular capacity. So my personal record with the 24s was 66 reps last year, and this was when I specifically trained for a competition on 24s. And here I did 7 reps per minute, and that was just a pace that felt all right. I didn't really know what to expect going into it, and I kept the pace throughout, and I did 70 reps all in all. And I'm actually very happy because you might say, okay, it's only 4 reps more to my personal record for like 6 months of training. But first off, like I said, if I did some specific training with the 24s to focus on pacing, I could get a little bit more. That's number one. And number two, in 10 minutes, 4 reps is quite a lot, because it's 4 reps of clean and jerk. So it's actually 8 movements more, and you have to compress all of that in 10 minutes. So I think that's an acceptable result. If I weighed in at a live competition, I would be 73 or 74 kilogram depending. And if I did 71 reps in Russia, where the rankings are quite a bit more demanding, it would be rank 1. So there's those Soviet style ranking tables that we have in kettlebell sport to rank athletes. So it goes rank 3, rank 2, rank 1, and rank 1 is already a good amateur athlete. And in the West, the level is a bit lower, so their ranking tables are easier. And there I would, if I did, I think 71 reps in the 74 kilogram weight class, I would already be candidate master of sport. So it's all right, it's not bad, but of course I still have to get better at 24 kg long cycle, and I think the goal for me should be to do at least 80 reps. I think that would be a good result at my body weight. So I tried to, on this set, I tried to fixate. It's called fixation when you're holding the bells overhead. I tried to fixate very precisely and hold the fixation for a bit on every rep, because I know the Hungarians have very high standards on fixation. I remember when I competed live, they gave me a couple no counts for fixation. So I try to like really hold it to hopefully not get any no counts on this set. And online, obviously you don't get immediate feedback from the judge, because the judging will be done in retrospect. So that's always a thing. So live, maybe if you're in communication with the judge, you can go a little bit faster, because you see the judge, you see him visually counting the rep, and you can go into the next rep. So this is like a good example of what I'm trying to do at the moment. And that's just like raising my capacity little by little, basically year after year, without any crazy like peaks and valleys. And I'm actually quite happy with how I'm developing at the moment, especially considering that I'm not young. I'm turning 35 this year, and I'm still outpacing aging, if you will, and getting better year after year. Even though in a sport, a kettlebell sport, that's like 10 minutes, it is dependent on VO2 max, which in turn is also dependent on age to some extent. But I think it's a sport you can make progress, and most people probably peak between 30 and 40. And I think amateur athletes in general, there's a lot of like blackpilling going on around getting older. But the thing is, all the like scientific data that points to like your abilities declining basically after 28 or 30, it implies that you're an elite professional athlete and you have been training ideally up to the point. And in that case, yes, if you start training from childhood and train ideally, you're going to peak around 30 or a little bit earlier. It depends on the sport, of course, but in most sports, because everything you've done leading up to that is going to bring you to that peak. But that doesn't apply to 99.9% of people who are amateur athletes. Even when they are serious amateur athletes, you haven't been training ideally up to 30. You have been maybe not training at all for a lot of the time. You haven't been, like, you have been figuring stuff out, and that's why the progress is going to be not as steep, but you're going to be able to make progress for a much longer time. So I think most people should be able to hit their best performances between 35 and 40. And if you don't, like, unless you're truly an elite athlete who went through like high level programs, I think it's mostly a you problem. You know, it's if you say actually performance is the data shows, yes, but you're just like basically coping. Like if you trained harder, you would still be making progress. So here, what minute is that? Yeah, obviously it wasn't easy. The thing is, like, I was traveling, so I didn't like basically prepare for this at all. I just like I was walking all day in the hot sun, and just went to the gym, like set up my camera and got it done. Didn't barely eat anything, like I didn't fuel properly all week, like ate like when you do when you're traveling, you like maybe go to a place, grab something to eat, but you're not like fueling as if you were really like training when you're at home. So I'm really happy with this, but because that's like what I'm interested in. Obviously I'm interested in what I can do on my best day when I'm super like prepared and peaking, but I'm also interested in what I can do on my worst day. And that's just like this raising of, like, I want to raise the ceiling, but I also want to raise the floor, and just want to keep increasing my base capacity over time. So that's what I'm trying to do. Okay, this is the last couple of reps. Like I could have gone a little bit faster, but like I said, I wasn't going to risk getting no counts by not holding fixation. And that's the last rep. And done. Happy with this set. Okay, and now it's back to training. Since summer has started, I haven't fleshed out everything in complete detail yet, but I'm probably going to go into more aerobic base building, getting that engine bigger. It's like aerobic base building, it's a never-ending process, but now it's in the summer. I usually like to run. Haven't been running that much all year because like the training was mostly very specific. Usually I was training kettlebell sport, like high volume kettlebell sport, 3 times a week, like a complete 2 to 3 hour session with warm-up, kettlebell specific work, like specific physical preparation, general physical preparation with barbell work and stretching. And then 2 to maybe 3 other days I would do some light cardio. That would be jogging, but very low volume. That would be walking, like brisk walking, and also shadow boxing. I try to do a shadow boxing workout once a week to once every 2 weeks. So I did do some cardio, but it was very, very low volume. So if you average it out, it would be like probably 30 to 60 minutes of running per week, all low intensity, and maybe 1 to 2 hours of brisk walking per week. I did some rowing and probably on average like a 30-minute shadow boxing session every 2 weeks. So like nothing you could call high volume, basically just maintenance. And now I feel I need to like push that again, and since the sun is out and the weather is better in St. Petersburg, it's going to be running as I've been doing every summer for the last years. Okay, I'm going to keep you guys updated. Wishing you a great week and see you next time.